Hello and welcome back, BuckPole viewers. This is David, and in this Tuesday Camp Talk, I am going to start out with probably the most basic beginnings of being a hunter and how to hunt, what you kind of need. This is going to be the first video in which I kind of try to break it down, and I'm going to start out by starting with the one thing that everyone basically needs in order to go hunting, and that is the weapon or firearm of choice that you would use to physically go harvest a deer with. For the main purposes, pretty much I think everything falls into the category of either a firearm, a bow or crossbow, or kind of other. Other is kind of more your exotic stuff. We're not going to touch that because this is a beginner video. From there, archery, I'm going to probably save some time for down the road a little further, just because most new hunters, not all, typically start out as a firearm hunter and then evolve into a bow hunter. We can dive into that later. That's for another discussion as well. But I'm going to start out with firearms, and the first thing I'm going to mention is I personally, myself, for new hunters, prefer to help them out by starting them out with a shotgun. There's three big reasons why I prefer to start out new hunters with a shotgun. The first being the distance in which the bullet travels is drastically less. Shotgun slugs are inherently very heavy, and they lose velocity quickly, they drop, and their effective range is not anywhere near that of a rifle, which I believe lends well towards a beginning hunter. Now, I'm not saying a beginner hunter cannot use a rifle, use it effectively, and use it safely. I'm just saying I believe personally that the shotgun is better for that. Number two, shotguns cost quite a bit less than rifles do. Your bargain shotguns run in the range of $150 to $200, whereas your bargain rifles, you're looking at about $250, probably to about $350 for your pretty much your lowest price point in both categories for a new firearm for each of them. The number three reason is the cost of ammunition. The cost of ammunition for a shotgun is typically quite a bit less than for a rifle. Right there is a very good example. I picked up this box of 15 slugs from my local Walmart for $3 when it was on sale. It's not uncommon, especially for 20 gauge slugs, not so much necessarily 12 gauge slugs, to pick up slugs for $1 per 5-pack. I mean, it's not an all the time thing, but if you do your research and you shop around a little bit, you typically can find slugs on sale for that cheap in the store, which that breaks down to 20 cents a round, as opposed to most of your rifle rounds, which are in the neighborhood of $1 a round or so, depending on what you're looking at. I mean, you find a good rifle round on sale, you're still looking at probably about 50 cents a round. So you can shoot more, which gets you more practice. My first thing I'm going to recommend, if you want to get into deer hunting with a firearm, is to start out, and if you don't know somebody, try to find somebody that can mentor you as a hunter. The biggest reason I say that is most of the guys that do hunt and have hunted for years will have an extra firearm that you might be able to borrow for a season. So then you're not outlaying a large sum of money to buy a new gun when you in reality may not like the sport and you may leave the sport, and then you have a firearm that you kind of purpose bought for deer hunting and it doesn't do you any good. So that's going to be my first recommendation. Definitely find a mentor that can help you out in the sport. In all honesty, when you're starting to look, the two probably most basic types of shotguns are going to be like this M66 Ithaca Super Single that my father gave me for my 12th birthday. That's a lever handled break action shotgun. It breaks basically in half right here. The barrel opens up, exposes the chamber, the shell ejects, you put a new shell in, and you close it up, and you're ready to shoot again. The other type of shotgun is this Ithaca M37 Featherlight and that 870 Wingmaster back there. It's a pump action shotgun. There is autoloader shotguns, and those do cost quite a bit more. So for a beginner, I don't believe that's necessarily a good option starting out. Pump actions are very reliable shotguns, compared especially to a semi-auto. So that's another thing to consider too. As far as guns go in general, there's two types of sights for shotguns that you can use for deer hunting. This is just a beaded sight with a vent rib, and this is actually a purpose-built smoothbore slug barrel with rifle sights on it. So that one already has adjustable rifle sights on it. The effective range of a shotgun for a deer is going to be probably anywhere from about 20-25 yards on all the way out to 125 yards. You can shoot deer, of course, at closer ranges than that, and you can shoot deer at further away ranges than that with a shotgun. But I honestly, even with some practice, probably wouldn't recommend shooting much beyond 125 yards with a shotgun for a deer. As far as what are common and popular shotguns, that 870 is a very common, very popular model of shotgun, and there's hundreds of 870s out there. This M37 is a little more rare. It also makes a very good gun for a left-handed shooter. Mossberg 500s and Ithaca M37 Featherlights make good left-handed shooter guns, even though they don't have a left ejection port on this one. The Ithaca has a bottom ejection on it, so when you pump the actual forearm on it, the shell comes out the bottom, and then the next shell comes in, and then it loads when you push it forward. As opposed to the 870, where the shell comes in through the bottom here, and then when you pull the forearm forward, it pulls the shell up, and then this slides in. When you eject, it comes out this way. It definitely is an advantage to have this, and the reason I picked this up is because my daughter is a left-handed shooter, so that she can enjoy this without having shells flying in front of her face while she's shooting. As far as shotgun cost, like I said, my father gave me this for my 12th birthday, so not real fair to compare that. That 870 back there, my brother picked up roughly 13 or 14 years ago for 35 bucks. 25 or 35, I don't remember for sure, but I know it was one of the two. To give you an idea, this shotgun, I actually traded a video game system, an SNES Classic Mini, for the shotgun. Someone didn't have a use for it, and their kids were into video games, so they traded me the shotgun for a $65, $70 video game console. So there's plenty of options, plenty of ways in which you can find good deals on shotguns. But shotguns are definitely my recommendation for a younger beginning hunter, unless of course you're in an area where you really do need that extra range of a rifle. So there you guys go. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining. I'm sure you probably didn't find it very entertaining, but at least I hope you found it informative. And above all, my wish is that this video helps you enjoy more time in the outdoors with your family and friends. Thanks for watching, guys.